There comes a moment when holding on becomes heavier than releasing. A moment when your mind has created so many stories about fear, control, and uncertainty that you forget something essential. Life was never meant to be forced. The universe has always carried you, even when you doubted your own steps. Trust is not blindness. It is the quiet inner knowing that there is a rhythm beneath the chaos, a meaning beneath the confusion, and a purpose beneath every delay. When you let go, you do not lose power, you reclaim it. You stop fighting currents that were never meant to be yours. You release people who were meant to be lessons, not lifelong companions. You stop chasing outcomes that shrink your spirit. Letting go is not abandoning responsibility, it is surrendering the illusion that you can control every outcome. It is choosing alignment over anxiety, clarity over fear, and flow over force. The universe does not respond to tension, it responds to openness. When your heart softens, guidance becomes louder. When your grip loosens, blessings enter effortlessly. When you stop insisting on what must happen, space appears for what should happen. And often the universe delivers far more than you ever imagined. You simply needed to stop strangling the possibility. Trust is built in silence. It grows in every moment you step forward without knowing the full path. It strengthens each time you listen to your intuition, the quiet inner whisper that knows long before logic understands. The universe speaks through synchronicities, meaningful encounters, sudden clarity, unexpected opportunities, and even through endings that feel painful but necessary. Letting go does not mean forgetting. It means releasing emotional resistance. It means giving yourself permission to evolve. It means turning your focus inward, because the more you align with your authentic self, the more life aligns with you. So breathe, release, allow. What is meant for you is already moving toward you. What is no longer aligned is quietly falling away. Do not fear the empty spaces. They are where the universe paints new beginnings. Your task is simple. Trust the unfolding. Trust the timing. Trust the quiet intelligence guiding your steps. Let go and watch what the universe has been waiting to give you. Letting go is an act of reclaiming personal power because it shifts your energy from clinging to what drains you toward embracing what strengthens you. So often people confuse letting go with defeat, believing that releasing something means they have failed or lost control. But the truth is the opposite. When you hold on to situations, people, or expectations that have already run their course, you give away pieces of your inner strength. You allow fear to dictate your decisions. You allow attachment to blind you to what is no longer aligned with your growth. Letting go is the moment you choose yourself. It is the moment you stop negotiating your worth in spaces that cannot see it. It is the moment you stop shrinking to make situations feel comfortable. It is the moment you say, "My peace matters more than my fear of change." Releasing what no longer serves you is not a sign of weakness. It is emotional maturity. It takes courage to walk away from familiar patterns, especially when they once provided comfort or identity. It takes clarity to recognize that holding on is costing you more than letting go ever will. It takes strength to detach from expectations that were built on worry, insecurity, or the desire for validation. When you let go, you interrupt these patterns. You redirect your energy toward your own healing, your own growth, and your own potential. You begin to understand that your value is not defined by what you hold on to, but by what you choose to align with. Letting go also restores your sense of inner freedom. You stop being controlled by external circumstances and emotional burdens that you cannot fix or change. You stop forcing outcomes that were never meant to unfold the way you imagined. You create space for clarity, space for peace, space for opportunities that match your true self. This space is where transformation begins. It is where you reconnect with your intuition, your desires, your purpose. Every time you choose to release something that limits you, you reclaim a part of yourself. You reclaim your voice, your boundaries, your sense of direction. You step back into your power because you are no longer handing it to situations that only take from you. Letting go is not the end. It is the moment your spirit stands up and says, "I deserve better, I choose better, and I am ready for what comes next." The universe responds to openness, not force, because life moves in rhythms that can't be controlled or rushed. When you push, chase, or demand outcomes, you create resistance. Your energy becomes tight, anxious, and narrow. In that state, you cannot recognize opportunities even when they appear. You become so focused on one rigid path that you miss the countless doors the universe is quietly opening around you. Forcing something to happen is often a sign of fear, a belief that if you don't control every detail, everything will fall apart. But true alignment never comes from pressure. It comes from allowing life to unfold in a space where your mind, heart, and intuition are relaxed and receptive. Openness is not passive. It is an active state of trust, curiosity, and willingness. It means you show up for your life without trying to manipulate every moment. It means you take action without obsession, hold intentions without desperation, and pursue goals without clinging to only one version of success. When you are open, you are flexible. You can adjust, pivot, and evolve. You are not rigidly attached to how things must go. Instead, you allow the universe to guide you through synchronicities, unexpected connections, intuitive nudges, and opportunities that seem to appear out of nowhere. This is because openness creates space, and the universe fills space. Forcing is rooted in scarcity, while openness is rooted in abundance. When you force, your energy says, "I don't trust that anything else will come." When you are open, your energy says, "I trust that something better is on its way." The universe always responds to the second vibration. It recognizes when you are ready to receive rather than grasp. It recognizes when you are aligned rather than desperate. It recognizes when your intentions come from growth, not fear. Openness allows you to work with life, not against it. When you stop forcing outcomes, you begin to experience flow. You notice how naturally things begin to unfold when you let go of tension. People show up at the right time, answers arrive when you stop overthinking, and paths become clear when you stop trying to control every step. Openness allows life to reveal its intelligence, its timing, and its deeper purpose. You don't have to push harder. You simply need to create space for the universe to meet you halfway. Intuition becomes clearer when fear is released because fear acts like static in the mind, loud, intrusive, and overwhelming. When you are afraid, you cannot hear the subtle guidance that comes from within. Fear creates doubt, confusion, and hesitation. It makes you question your instincts, overanalyze possibilities, and mistrust your own inner voice. Intuition, on the other hand, speaks softly. It doesn't compete with panic or force its way through anxiety. It waits for the moment when your inner world is still enough to listen. Releasing fear is not about pretending you are not scared. It is about loosening the grip that fear has on your decisions, your vision, and your sense of direction. Only then can intuition rise to the surface. When fear dominates, it keeps you focused on worst-case scenarios. It shrinks your perspective and blinds you to the truth that exists beyond your worries. In contrast, intuition expands your perspective. It allows you to sense what feels right, even when logic can't fully explain it. But you can only access this deeper knowing when your mind stops racing and your emotions stop clinging to everything that could go wrong. Releasing fear creates mental clarity. It opens a quiet inner space where insights can land gently, where clarity can unfold naturally, and where decisions feel guided rather than pressured. When fear dissipates, you begin to notice how your body reacts to truth. Intuition often shows up as a calm pull, a spark of certainty, a subtle nudge, or a feeling of alignment. These signals are easy to miss when fear fills your body with tension. Fear tightens your chest, intuition relaxes it. Fear makes you overthink, intuition simplifies. Fear pushes you into survival mode, intuition invites you into alignment. Letting go of fear allows you to recognize these differences, helping you trust your inner compass more deeply. As fear fades, confidence naturally rises. You begin to trust your ability to sense people's intentions, to feel when a path is right or wrong, to recognize when something aligns with your spirit. You no longer need constant reassurance because intuition becomes your anchor. You start making decisions from awareness instead of insecurity. You start recognizing opportunities that once felt invisible. Releasing fear is not just emotional relief. It is an awakening. It reconnects you with your deepest wisdom. It allows you to hear the truth that has been waiting beneath the noise. And when that truth becomes clear, you move through life with a sense of quiet certainty, guided by something far deeper than logic alone. Not everything or everyone is meant to stay, and accepting this truth is one of the most liberating steps in personal growth. Life is a constant process of movement, evolution, and transformation. People enter your world for different reasons, some to teach you, some to challenge you, some to awaken parts of you, and some simply to accompany you for a short chapter. The mistake many people make is assuming that every connection is meant to be permanent, that every bond must last a lifetime, or that every person you care for must remain part of your journey. But growth does not work that way. As you evolve, your energy shifts, your values refine, your understanding deepens, and, naturally, certain relationships, situations, and attachments begin to fall away. Letting things go is not a sign of failure, it is a sign of alignment. When someone's presence begins to limit your growth, drain your peace, or pull you backward, life starts giving you signs, subtle at first, then louder. You may feel discomfort, distance, or emotional heaviness. You may sense that conversations no longer nurture you, or that the connection feels forced. These are not punishments. They are signals that the chapter is ending. Holding on tightly to what is fading only prolongs your suffering. The universe does not remove people to hurt you, but to make space for those who match who you are becoming. There is beauty in temporary connections. Some people enter your life solely to reveal a truth, shift your perspective, or help you grow into a stronger version of yourself. Their role is complete once the lesson is learned. The pain comes from believing that longevity equals value, but the length of a relationship has nothing to do with its purpose. A brief encounter can change your life more deeply than a lifetime partnership. Not everything is meant to stay because not everything is meant to align with your future. Some opportunities expire because you have outgrown them. Some relationships fade because your paths are no longer moving in the same direction. Some dreams dissolve because they were built from old versions of you. When you accept that letting go is a natural part of life, you stop chasing people who no longer choose you, you stop forcing connections that no longer fit, and you stop clinging to memories that keep you stuck. You begin to trust the flow of your journey, knowing that what leaves creates space for what is truly meant for your growth, peace, and future. Life aligns with your authentic self because the universe responds to who you truly are, not who you pretend to be, not who you were taught to be, and not who you force yourself to be for acceptance. Alignment begins the moment you stop performing for the world and start living from your inner truth. When you operate from authenticity, your energy becomes clearer, your intentions become honest, and your actions begin to reflect your real values. This creates a natural flow, a quiet harmony between your inner world and the circumstances that unfold around you. Life becomes less of a struggle and more of an unfolding because you are no longer working against yourself. When you deny your authentic self, everything becomes heavier. You end up in relationships that suffocate you, jobs that drain you, and environments that contradict your spirit. You feel disconnected because you are living out of alignment, trying to fit into expectations that were never meant for you. But the moment you start listening to your inner voice, even in small ways, life begins to rearrange itself. People who resonate with your truth start appearing. Opportunities that match your strengths and passions begin to surface. Situations that once felt complicated gradually fall into place. This is not coincidence, it is alignment responding to clarity. Your authentic self carries a frequency that cannot be duplicated. When you honor it, you attract what is meant for you with far less effort. You stop clinging to what doesn't feel right because you can finally sense the difference between what nourishes you and what drains you. Authenticity sharpens your intuition. It helps you recognize where you belong and where you don't. It reveals the paths that feel effortless and exposes the ones that constantly require you to betray yourself. Living authentically also builds confidence. When you stop filtering yourself to please others, You reclaim your voice, your boundaries, your identity. You stop apologizing for who you are and start embracing your uniqueness. This confidence ripples into every area of your life. Your relationships become healthier, your decisions become clearer, and your goals become more meaningful. Life does not align with the version of you that hides, it aligns with the version of you that shows up. The moment you choose truth over approval, real alignment begins. The more you step into your authentic self, the more life responds with opportunities, connections, and experiences that reflect who you were always meant to be. Trusting the universe creates space for meaningful synchronicities and unexpected blessings, because trust softens the mind and opens the heart to possibilities you cannot predict or control. When you stop gripping tightly to how life must unfold, you invite life to show you how it can unfold, often in ways far better than your imagination ever allowed. Trust is an energetic invitation. It signals that you are ready to receive, ready to notice, and ready to align with the subtle guidance the universe offers every day. When you trust, your awareness widens. You begin to recognize signs, connections, symbols, and meaningful coincidences that once went unnoticed. Synchronicities appear not by accident, but because your mind becomes receptive enough to see them. When you operate from doubt or fear, your perception narrows. You overlook opportunities, dismiss intuitive nudges, and question every step. Fear makes you cling to old patterns, outdated relationships, and rigid expectations. But trust loosens your grip. It creates emotional and mental space where clarity can surface, where direction can become obvious, and where the universe can guide you with gentle precision. Trust doesn't eliminate effort, it transforms it. You still take action, but you do so with openness rather than desperation. That openness becomes a magnet for experiences that align with your highest good. Synchronicities often arrive when you least expect them. A conversation with a stranger that answers a question you've been carrying, a sudden opportunity that aligns perfectly with your skills, a person showing up at the exact moment you need insight, or a situation resolving itself in a way you couldn't have planned. These moments are reminders that life is not random. It communicates with you when you are willing to listen, and listening requires trust. Unexpected blessings flow more easily when you stop trying to predict every outcome. The universe loves to surprise you, but it cannot do so when your fear builds walls around what you think is possible. Trust dismantles those walls. It tells life, I am open to what I cannot see yet. And that openness is where blessings enter, blessings that feel effortless, timely, and deeply aligned. Trusting the universe is not about surrendering responsibility, it is about surrendering resistance. It is choosing to believe that life is unfolding for you, not against you. And when you hold that belief, synchronicities guide your steps, blessings unfold naturally, and the path ahead becomes illuminated in ways you never could have orchestrated alone. In the end, trusting the universe is not about knowing every answer, it's about knowing yourself. It's about understanding that your journey is shaped by something wiser than fear and far greater than doubt. When you let go, when you release the weight of control, when you choose openness over tension, life begins to move with you rather than against you. You are not here to chase what is fading. You are not here to force what does not fit. You are here to grow, to align, and to allow the universe to reveal what has always been meant for you. So step forward with a calm mind and an open heart. Let the path unfold. Let the signs guide you. Let the blessings find you in their own perfect timing. This is your reminder: you are supported, you are guided, and you are never walking alone. Trust the unfolding, trust the timing, trust the quiet force shaping your life into something extraordinary.